awesome program, and it does give you the tips and the resources that she gives you in her programs. It works its way in your everyday life. Time management is definitely one of them. I have been more adamant, more so than ever, on using it because I don't like to panic. And I don't like feeling flustered. And I feel like that was, I'll say, 80% of the feelings that go in when I'm planning stuff or when I'm trying to organize things. So that's why it was essential for me to learn how to use tools and the resources that Miss June gave me for time management. And it helps. It's helped me organize my life a lot better. I think when you have work, life, family, and you're juggling businesses, that it's essential. So one thing, did you want me to get into it, Miss June?
Yeah,
Oh,
yeah.
oh, okay.
Mhm.
Um, one thing I will say, Lizzie, about the thing, do you have a cell phone?
Yes.
Are you a cell phone person?
No, no, no.
No, okay. Okay. Because one thing I have used and I still use is I have to go to a calendar when anybody anytime presents a date or activity or a function for me, the first thing I do is go look at my calendar because I need to see physically dates on what's going on for that month and for that week before I overbook myself for stuff. So if you do have a do you have a calendar, like a physical calendar or a calendar that you use on your cellular device?
Yes, I do.
Okay. I don't know what kind of phone you have, but one thing that I have been adamant about using is my calendar on my phone because what it does, let me see if this helps. What it does is, no, that didn't help either. Okay. What it does is it basically breaks everything down,
Mhm.
color coded for me. Um, because for me, I have a lot of meetings that I have to go to for work. I don't know if you can see. Okay.
Mhm. Mhm.
I
Yeah.
have a lot of meetings that I have to go to for work and for just my personal business. And the moment, like when for IE, when Miss June called and she was like, "What's the date?" and set up, I looked on my calendar, and as soon as we set a date, I went ahead and made sure to put it in for that date and for that time. Because with time management, a lot of times we'll agree to stuff and we don't think about what we might have going on and we overbook ourselves and then we kind of catch ourselves in a catch 22. So one advice is to use a calendar, right? If you can, if you ever have like a moment where you're just sitting down for dinner, just write out some of the things that you have going on, whether it's school, personal life. That way that you don't have anything colliding with um, those days, right? Um, Another thing too that I use is I do block off. So for certain days, I make sure not to schedule nothing because I need to bounce back from everything if I've been running 90 miles per hour. So I need to have a moment to focus back and, just reshift things a little bit. So Sundays, I make sure I don't plan anything like even if it's my business thing, I make sure that I try to do it within a time frame that it's not going to take up my whole day, because you need that moment to just
Mhm.
refocus, revisit, and you know,
And
bounce back.
self-care.
Yes, and self care. Miss June is a very advocate for self care, and I love it. um, and also, I still like to write things down. So, Lizzie, I don't know what kind of business that you have, or what do you feel like you might struggle with when it comes down to time management?
And maybe you could tell her a little bit about your business as well, too, and where your struggles are. Yeah, good question, Dana.
Okay. My business is I have a stationery shop,
Okay.
and mostly my struggles were coming in whenever customers come through with work. I used to take a bit of time for me to start working on that. I used to pile up a lot of tasks. So I used to fight with time. And most of the times I used to find problems with like waking up early, opening the store early. So I used to go late, but since I started the coaching session with Madam June, at least I've improved with the time of waking up and other things. So my main challenge was when it comes to working on customers' tasks, because I used to let them pile up before I start attending to them.
Okay. How long does it usually take you to complete a customer order?
The hardest task takes me approximately 3 hours.
3 hours. Okay. And is your business, do you have customer interaction and requests Monday through Friday?
Yes, Monday to
Okay.
Friday, yes, we do have.
So one thing, I have a party I'm building a party event company. And one thing I had to learn is that when our customers request something, it's for a reason, right? And because stationery is very creative, it's organic, it takes time to, with the details and the printing and all of that, I can imagine. Is that the kind of work for stationery?
Yes.
Okay. So when you sound like a creative person like me,
Yeah.
so one thing that I've noticed that I'm not creative when I'm panicking, and it messes with my work. Yeah. So if you have a customer's request, maybe if Monday through Friday, you can make it to where the customers, if they request something, they have to, if they want it done, they have to do it the day prior before 6 p.m., right? And the reason why I say that is because the next day you have time to give yourself to complete orders that you need. I know it's easy for us when a customer comes into a store and be like, hey, can you print this off today? I need it by such and such. And because we're creative and we're excited and it's our business and it's a passion, we want to do it right then and there, right? But in essence, it kind of it taints the business a little bit, because if you have other orders prior to that, you're not focusing on those orders, right? And that's when it can cause like a buildup. And like you said, now here you are with 5 orders all due by 5 o'clock, right? So one thing I could probably suggest for time management is let your customers know any orders put in by 6 p.m. or 7 p.m., they will not be completed until the next day. That way you give yourself that 3-hour window to complete the order, and you're not rushing, or you're not feeling like, oh my gosh, I got all these orders, and feeling overwhelmed. That's the word that I really want to say, because when you start feeling overwhelmed, like I'm clumsy, like I start messing up when I'm now feeling like I'm being rushed. That's why I had to learn about time management, because I was like, wait a minute, like this is not healthy for my mental. So that's one thing I would suggest as far as your business aspect, is making sure that you give yourself enough window to complete those orders in a timely manner, and also to your satisfaction, right? Because it's your work, it speaks for you. And with time management, you don't want to just be rushing and putting anything together. And then when the customer comes, you're not really satisfied with yourself. And it kind of puts us in a mood. So, yeah, I would definitely. Do your customers come every day, or do you have a website, or when they're coming to your store?
I have permanent customers, but they don't come in like every day. And then
Hmm.
I have customers, those that we share with my other competitors. So I
Okay.
don't have a web page or anything.
Okay.
So they just walk in. Yeah.
Right.
That's
So word of mouth, basically, and your work speaks for itself. So that's a good thing. I would also, another suggestion too, Liz, is that if there's any way that you can pre-print any of your work, that might help. Maybe like on Fridays or on a Wednesday, if you have what we call these returning customers, or if you have a stationary piece that you've noticed that is kind of being used more often, go ahead and print some stuff off ahead of time so that way you have your inventory kind of built up. Um, in most businesses, a lot of people take times on like the Mondays and Tuesdays just to go through inventory. Do you set aside time during your work schedule to say, okay, from 11 to 12, before I take lunch, I want to just check and see what kind of inventory I have?
yeah,
Hmm.
sure. I
Yeah,
do that.
because
Yes,
you
I
say
do
you
that.
do that.
But not every day.
Okay, yes. So if there's a way for you to set aside time to just pre-print some of your stationery, I feel like that might help you as well, because when you do have a customer that might come in and say they need something, you already have it on file. Or is there do you have to manage your printing material so that you can keep up with it?
This is when I started doing that. I never used to do that.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
That'll
I'm
save
learning
you
to do that.
time. Yeah, yeah, yes, yes. It will save you a great amount of time. Go ahead and pre-planning inventory. And also, I don't know if you have um, envelopes or any type of for time management. I know like I have to physically like write stuff down and put it to where I can see it, a to-do list. So
Mhm.
that is another thing um, I will do for myself. And like Miss June said too, I'll also set reminders for myself, because like we said, we got 90,000 miles and 90,000 things going on in our head that I have to set reminders personally for myself. So if you have customers that are wanting orders and you're starting to, see an influx of the same orders, just go ahead and set reminders for yourself and say, okay, from this time frame to this time frame, I'm going to set aside this time to make sure I work on these orders. The thing about time management is you have to practice it every day.
Mhm.
A lot of people, when they say, I need to work on time management, they'll do it for like an hour or they'll do it for a week. But it is, it's kind of like brushing your teeth. It's got to be a part of your routine of the organizing yourself, because I learned after we did the mentorship program with Miss June that if I'm not organized, that causes me to be chaotic, and it causes everything around me to be chaotic, and like I said, it messes with your mental state. So um just I will say, like, I don't know if this is TMI, when I'm in the bathroom is when I organize myself the most. I don't know, like, whenever I'm doing something where I could just sit there and focus, that's when I
Mhm.
make myself organize everything, scheduling, timing, um, because I can't move or go nowhere, right? So, uh, so I would definitely say, like, whenever you get a moment and you notice yourself just sitting still, like even if you're sitting at a table, go ahead and just start writing things down, and make yourself a schedule for work. On Mondays, I'll check inventory. Tuesdays, I will make sure to pre-print stationaries that are most popular for my customers. Wednesdays, I will check and see the status of my orders, the dates. um, and like I said, set yourself a time frame for customers come in and order something. If it's after a certain time and you don't have time, let them know that unfortunately you'll be able to have it ready for them the next morning or whatever business hours that you open. That way you're not feeling, like I said, overwhelmed and trying to complete all these orders. Because
Okay.
stationery is very detailed and intricate.
And fun.
Yes.
Yeah. So,
Wow.
great. Dana, I know at one time in your journey, one of the things that you had to do was reorganize your physical environment, your physical workspace,
Hmm.
where you had sent me the picture of, oh, look, and how this is set up, and look at how this is set up. I think that's very important also in
Hmm.
managing your time. You want to talk a little bit about that?
Yes, so I'm the type of person when there's clutter around physically, it clutters my brain, right? So um, my significant laughs at me all the time because it's not OCD, it's just organization. So your your workstation, um, little things like I learned how to do, like I'll put stuff in a basket or just make sure papers are stacked neatly. Um, the space that I'm in when I'm working all the time, I have to have it organized because that's what helps me feel like it's like a woosah moment, right? If I have everything around and all on my tape, I can't find nothing, right? And it drives me crazy, especially if I know I put it somewhere. I hate losing stuff. So I have to make sure that I say, okay, if there's a paper that I know I need, I'll put it in a certain place because when I need to go find it, I know exactly where it's at. And it's a good feeling mentally, like when you know that you sat there and you took time to organize something strategically and you can go, it's a it's a breathable moment.
Mhm.
It's a breathable moment. So yes, so like Miss June stated, make sure that your areas are clean. um do you guys have like a Dollar Tree store where you're at?
So, no, they don't have,
Okay.
but that would be compared to a store, Lizzie, where they sell very cheap, like the Chinese store though, inexpensive knickknacks that you could use to, oh gosh, for so many things, but but used
Okay.
for to organize yourself. So what she's asking pretty much is there a store where you could probably get things for um, less than 10 kwacha, very 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 cheap, where
Mhm.
we get it for, yeah, and they probably don't have that there.
No,
Uh-huh.
I have.
Um,
But
do you have like baskets where you can put your paperwork and stuff at for your desk and stuff?
or how do you
Uh,
organize your
Yeah,
area,
that's what I'm trying to ask. Like,
uh-huh,
yes, how do you organize your
your space?
workspace?
I have a paper tray, a small paper tray.
Paper tray. And
Mhm.
are they labeled?
No.
Mhm.
Okay. So I would say the next moment you get, I would make sure to label your trays. For
Okay.
instance, new orders, you could break it down. New customer orders,
Mhm.
in progress orders, complete orders, right?
Okay.
That will be a first step
Okay.
because it will help you keep on track on when you have orders that need to be completed.
Okay.
Mhm.
Thank you.
I'm kind of familiar, but not very familiar with stationery and your printing. Do you guys have supplies? Do you have a supply area?
Yes, a few of it.
Okay. And what are some of the supplies that you have in that area?
We have bond paper.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, bond paper, envelopes. We've got pens, manila paper, the
Do
iron.
you have an area designated where supplies are at?
Yes, it's separated.
Okay. Are they labeled?
Mm, labeled according to their names or the prices. The
Okay.
names are there. Yes, the names are there.
Okay. Yeah. So just make sure you keep that that area too, your supply area. You want to keep that organized as well. That's part of time management because you don't want to overuse your materials, right? If you keep just pulling envelopes, 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 and then, by the end of the day, you're like, wait a minute, oh my gosh, I'm out of envelopes. Um, so make sure you keep that stuff, your supply closet, organized as well.
Okay.
Um, and then your order form, do customers have to fill out an order form as well? For
No, no, they
Okay.
don't.
How does a customer request printing from your business?
Okay, we just talk. We do not have any order forms or anything like that. When a customer just comes in, they tell you, I want you to make maybe some receipt books for me. I want you to print these things for me. Then you agree on the
Okay.
time that the customer is coming back to collect. If they have to pay there and then, so that's how we operate. Yeah.
Um, just a suggestion that might help you too, and it doesn't have to be very long, but create you a simple order form
Okay.
because when you have a date, um, the amount that they're requesting be printed, that will help you stay on task and organize as well with your time management. Because I know you said it takes about 3 hours to print, right? So let's say you have a customer come in on a Tuesday morning, and they want maybe like 25 things printed. Well, and then they want it by the end of the day. Okay. So you can go back and look at your order form, see what time they came in, and be like, okay, well, if it takes 3 hours, I need to start printing now if they're going to be back here by 5.
Mhm. Mhm. I
Um,
sorry, I was going to interject. I really love that suggestion of an order form. One, it just gives you a heightened level of professionalism. Like, this is my business, right? Um, and then two, when you have multiple people coming in, you're able to, and you probably know them personally, Lizzie, so you don't have to say, oh, I know this one always asks for this. I know this is what she wants. But it helps you categorize and list who's ordering what, the details of what they need. Um, and then, well, I'll give you a quick story. So my daughter makes wigs, okay? And she have business clients, and she have business clients who are friends or who are family members. And so she called me last week very upset because she was responding to someone's message, a family member, um, and she wanted to make sure that she wasn't her anger wasn't coming out in this message. So the message, what the person had responded to her as is that she had made this person a wig. She mailed the wig to them, and then she sends them a message and saying, your wig has been mailed. You will get it on December 11th. This person needed the wig for December 15th. Okay? No, they needed the wig for December 15th. She said, I mailed your wig. You'll get it December 13th. So they respond back and said, well, what about December 11th? You said December 11th. And she was like, no, I said the 13th, which is still 2 days before the event. And then there was, because she didn't have, she has order forms. She's very, very detailed, her consultations is off the chart, but she put those habits aside for a family member. And that's what happened because she didn't write it down. She couldn't prove that it was supposed to be the 13th and not the 11th. And then she didn't do the measurements for the head like she does for all her clients because it was a family member and they were guessing like, oh, it's 15 circumferences. And so from that, my free consultation to her was be consistent with all your customers, whether they're family members or whether they're friends. Be consistent. It shows you're professional. It shows you take your business seriously, and they will start respecting you as a business owner. Okay. So now this family member, and what she did. So she reworded her angry email and said, I apologize. I didn't follow my same policies and protocols like I do for all my customers. Had I done that, it wouldn't have happened. Going forward, we will start implementing my consultation format and forms with you. So that family member, and even me, when she does stuff for me, I'm like, I'm a customer. Treat me I want the same 5-star customer experience. Right. I want the consultation. I want write it down for me. I want the box with all the goodies. Right. Yeah. And so I'm saying that develop certain standards, high standards of professionalism, and implement them and be consistent. That will, I tell you, one, show you as a professional. It will reduce your stress. When you're stressed, you're disorganized, you can't focus. Yes. Again, that impacts your time management. So that's a very, very, very good idea in implementing some form of record for them to fill out. And then the other part is the money. Okay, so if you have it on paper, you told me $300 and now you're charging me $500. No, I didn't tell you that. So it's on paper.
Yes. Okay. So what else, what other things are you noticing about running your business with maybe dealing with the customers, are things that you are looking to revamp?
I think the main challenge I had is on time management, like just completing the customer's task on time. Yeah, that was my main, where I was failing, let me say, my main area of failure. Sure.
Right. Yeah, I would definitely use the tips of putting things down in your phone or writing things down so where you can physically see them. Set reminders for yourself all the time. I have to do that. And then also creating a system. Ms. June talks about that. That was one of our lessons, creating a system for yourself, because when you implement the system, it helps you stay on track and it helps you stay accountable for yourself, right? That's the thing about with time management. Like I said, you literally have to practice it every second, every minute, every hour, and some habits are harder to break than others. Some days I'm like, I don't want to look at nothing. I don't, and it's okay to have those days, but the next day, make sure you are back on track with yourself. And also give yourself time. Make sure that you set aside time just to decompress and reshift your focus, because a lot of times, like I said, because you sound like a creative person, when we're in our creative mindset and we just like to create, we don't give ourselves time to really you know digest everything that we're doing. And that it becomes very overwhelming, and then you don't enjoy it. It'll take you to a place where you're like, I don't want to do this no more. Like this. So to avoid from that, I would definitely use those tips, and create a system that works for you, Lizzie. Okay. Um, that is the number one thing, because when you're starting a business adventure or even in life, right? Um, you have to make sure that you're good mentally and physically. I like lighting candles. That's my thing. When I come home from work, light a candle. You know, whatever it is, organize your house to when you come home, you enjoy being home. Um, all those little things are important intricacies for time management. My bathroom, I like it to look like a spa. So it doesn't look like a spa, but if I have to take time to roll my washcloths to look like little spa things, that's what I'm going to do, right? Because those little things matter to me, and it helps me up here in my space, like Miss June was talking about earlier. So write everything. If you have a schedule, create a schedule for yourself for work. Mondays, you visit inventory days. Tuesdays, check supplies. Make sure Wednesdays, check order forms. And like I said, your order forms, they need to be something that you can make sure that you keep on track. The date that the customer requests the order, and you also make sure you let those customers know, look, if you come in 5 o'clock business hours requesting for printing, that printing will not be completed until the next morning of business day. And we have companies out here called Kinko's and different printing places. They implement stuff like that. A lot of corporation, big printing companies, those are the type of guidelines and rules they set for customers to give them that time to print the work. So you requesting that from your customers and you implementing that rule, like Ms. June said, that's setting the professional tone for your business. And that's part of time management, because if somebody comes in at 4 o'clock requesting something and it's 3 hours, you're leaving work late. And then you're getting home late, and then you're tired. And so it all plays in part of making sure that you find a system that works for you. So that's all I have, Ms. June.
Awesome.
I hope that helped.
Yeah. Oh, that was great, Dana. Thank you so much. I was taking notes too, just as refreshers, and just to think, like using a calendar, blocking off time for just nothing, right? I think is important, because that's your self-care time, but then it allows you to, if you want to choose to add something, I think her Wi-Fi probably went out. Okay. Yeah, but like, even if you want to choose to add something on that day, you have that free block time to do it. Yes. The other thing that I noticed when you showed your phone is you had on there review emails as a block out time. And I'm like, wow, I need to do that, because there was a time my email, this is my work email, got up to like 1,200 emails, and people was emailing me, and and they were fussing. It's bad, and it's embarrassing when your subordinate comes to you and say, June, you need to get with it with this email stuff. That's embarrassing. Because they've been sending me emails and I've been non-responsive, and it's because it was buried. It was buried in all the other emails that came through. So even coming up with a system, I had to learn how to filter my email and how to unsubscribe to all these junk emails that comes through. After my boss pulled me in the office and was like, yeah, I'm getting complaints you're not responding to emails. Yeah. So so I like that. Yeah, so use of a calendar, blocking off time, printing ahead when possible.
And labeling.
Labeling is a good one. Yeah, very good one. Yeah. And then that environment, keeping it organized, because a cluttered mind, you can't, a cluttered space creates a cluttered mind, and you can't really function well when things are all over the place. Yeah. And then just being mentally fit, how you prep your back, things that's important to you. All those things that are important to you is part of refueling your energy to have good time management, which kind of leads me to Friday. I was talking with them about, moving from time management now to energy management. And the 4 types of energy management, which I'll probably use some time and talk with Lizzie about, or focus more on that, because I think that'll be everything you're saying. When I think of the bathroom, I'm like, yeah, that's energy management. I'm putting it in my little buckets. Yep, that's productivity management. And so, I'll spend some time with her on how to, I think that would be the piece that would kind of help her also to know when is the best time of the day to use her energy and what energy she's going to use. Yeah. So, Miss Lizzie, although you shared some of your challenges, I know you've grown in time management. There's some things that you've started doing that you didn't used to do before. So maybe if you could share some of that with Miss Dana.
Yes.
Are you able to hear me now?
Yes.
Hello?
Yes.
You can hear me? Okay. Before, I used to struggle when it comes to getting out of bed. So right now, with the coaching session that I've had with Madam June, I'm able to wake up early according to the time that I tell myself that I should get out of bed by this time. And the other thing is I'm not able to complete tasks according to the agreements made between me and my customers, though I need to perfect it. Yeah, so those are the 2 things that I'm proud of right now. Looking forward to do more. So I just look forward to work on what you've shared with me. And I think I'll be a better time manager.
Yes. One thing I learned from Miss June is goal setting. And it's just not even like with our long term and short term. Sometimes we have to do weekly goal settings, and she kept us accountable for that as well. But you can also do daily goal settings, which can translate to a to-do list, right? So maybe starting tomorrow, you can start thinking about what type of time management tips you want to start, implementing. And then next week, that way you can start getting accustomed to the system that you're going to be creating for yourself.
Awesome. Thank you so much. Any questions, Lizzie, that were not answered that you may have for Miss Dana?
I think everything has been answered because she's shared with me a lot of things that I need to work on right now. Awesome. She's shared with me so much more than I expected.
Oh,
that's great. I'm glad. I'm very glad for that. Yeah. So, Lizzie, you sent me a workbook, so I will look at that. Dana, I'll go ahead and dismiss you. Thank you so much. You know what? Before we do that, before you log off, Dana, let's all smile. So I could do a screenshot. Awesome. And I'll send it to you, Lizzie. Thank you.
Perfect. Okay, thank
Bye,
you.
Bye-bye.
ladies. Enjoy your day.
Okay,
Bye.
you
Thank
as
you
well. Have
too.
a blessed Christmas.
Thank you and happy holidays. Yes.
Thank you.
Hey,
So okay. Yeah. So I hope that that was helpful.
it was.
Great, great.
I feel like I'm already doing the things that she was telling me right now.
Yes. Good. Good. Yeah.
It feels so good.
That's good. That's good. That makes me feel good. I am so
Yeah,
glad. Go ahead.
yeah, it just makes me feel so good. I feel like I've already attained everything.
Hmm. That's
I,
great.
I feel so I feel so encouraged,
Uh-huh.
and I can already envision it. Like I'm done with everything that she was telling me,
Hmm.
and
Hmm.
I see myself becoming a good business owner.
Hmm. Hmm. And now it's
The
just
top of the
practice.
town.
Yes, yes, absolutely. And now, when she say, put systems in place, but the key is practice. With time management, it's practice,
Yeah.
practice, practice. You'll put these systems, and then if you don't create a habit, right? Because as you practice, people say it takes 21 days for a practice to become a habit. So you keep doing it every day, you keep doing it every day, even if it's every day writing down on Monday, check orders, Tuesday, this. In 21 days, you won't have to be writing down Monday check orders. It'll become a habit. Right, you'll know
Yeah.
what you need to do. You'll know what to do. You need to do. So that's great. um, put those systems in place. Practice them. Practice them. Practice them. When things become habit, I always tell people, um, knowledge is not to keep to yourself. Knowledge is not to
Mhm.
keep to yourself. Teach
Mhm.
as you teach people, as you share what you know. That's one way of growing yourself. I was talking, it's funny, I was talking to my brother this weekend, and we were just talking about life and business, and how are we going to grow our business, and some ideas that we were having, and I had this aha moment. Actually, we both had this aha moment together, which was he was talking about when God created man, right? When God created man, he created man from the dirt of the ground, right? But man's job was to till the soil. Man's job was to cultivate the soil. So if man came
Yeah.
from soil and man's job is to till the soil, then man is soil. God is telling us to till each other, to nurture each other, to administer each other, right?
Mhm.
But then women, he said, be fruitful and multiply.
Mhm.
The union he put together, be fruitful and multiply. And again, we think of multiply and have children, multiply and have children. But the spiritual sense of that, because remember, we were spirit before we were cardinal, before we were man. The spiritual sense of that is when he puts two people together to be fruitful and multiply, he's asking us to multiply the seed that he put in us. Okay, multiply the seed he put in us. So what is that seed? The seed is our passion, the seed is our purpose, the seed is what you were created for. Okay, so if I like to coach, you have a business in stationery, we're put together. My job to coach is to coach you. Your job is your business, right? How do you be fruitful and multiply that? I share what I have, because this union that we have now, I share that I have what I have, and I help you to grow. Okay, I help you to grow your business. I help you to develop a passion also for leading and mentoring others, because my expectation is that you're going to develop and share with others, and it'll grow your business and it'll multiply your business. That's how you're multiplied. Be fruitful and multiply your business, but not just multiply your business, multiply people who will duplicate your business, who will multiply your business, who will learn those same skills that you're learning to open up other stationery shops, or to you may start teaching and mentoring other people, right? To create people who just learn those same skills to improve their life, to improve their business, to create a better life for themselves, to eradicate, I always like eradicate their situations they're living and improve that situation. Yeah, so that was my aha moment. Is my job is, I always tell people, great leaders create new leaders. And when I keep saying that, when me and my brother was talking, I was like, that's why I'm saying great leaders create new leaders, because be fruitful and multiply. We need to, a great leader will multiply the leaders that they have. They wouldn't keep it to themselves. Our job with our skills, with our passion, is not to keep it to ourselves, but to multiply, to create other people with those same passions. Yeah. So that's what, I'm hoping that you would be energized, and just, as you get poured into, you pour into someone else. The other part that I'm going to talk about tomorrow is, we started talking about energy management. So there's 4 different types of energy that helps you be productive for life. And I'll leave that in the voice note tomorrow, and how you could use those 4 different types of energy, and when to use those energy, because it all lines into making the best use of your energy so that you could be more productive, and at the best use of when we say best use of time, everyone have the same number of time in the day, but for some reason, some people could accomplish more and some people can't accomplish more. And why is that? You all have 24 hours. So why am I just looking at social media half the day and not producing, whilst another person? Or why can, I have an uncle, by 8 o'clock in the morning, his whole day is done, because he gets up at 5 and his whole day is done. Whilst at 8 o'clock, I'm just getting up. So why is that? And it's how we use our different levels of energy, because his energy is mostly in the mornings, right? And that's the physical energy. So we're going to talk about the physical energy. We're going to talk about the spiritual energy, the mental energy, and the emotional energy, and how you could use it to be productive for life. So that's what I have for you. Then this week, I mentioned that we'll be doing a lot of writing, because this is the last 2 weeks of the month. And I want us to start shifting now to goal setting for 2022. So now that we've worked on the goals, your one goal of time management, what is the big picture? What do I want now for the new year, and how to focus on manifesting that? Yeah. So talking about manifestation, I've been wanting something. I have a phone, a new, well, it's not new, but I have this phone. Yes, it is new. I have this phone, and this phone, I love it because it opens up. And so I call it my computer phone. But I wanted. It has a stylus that goes to it where you could write on the screen. And so last night I said I want a stylus, but the stylus costs $75, and I didn't want to buy it for myself. So I put it out there. I just sent out a group text to my kids, and I said, with the link to the stylus, and I said, this is the stylus I want. Who's gonna get it for me? And one of my daughters immediately said, Mom, I got you. And she said, but what a way to try to manifest, right? By asking. Because I always talk to them about manifesting.
Nice.
And so, and this was like 3 a.m. So I'm like, even what are you doing up at 3 a.m? So it made me think of manifesting is just asking. It's just asking the universe, just putting it out there, making your needs known. Yeah. And so, so I just thought of sharing that, because it was funny that I really wasn't although I know I wanted this stylist, although I know I was going to get this stylist, I never thought of just saying, let me ask someone to get it for me. So I just thought of sharing that. It may mean nothing to you, but I was just glad that someone is getting me the
So
stylist that
helpful.
I want. Yes. Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
That's sweet.
So, so that's all that I have. Any questions that you have for me or anything that we need to talk about whilst you have me?
Mm, right now,
Uh-huh.
there's nothing. I'll just wait for you to review my workbook and tell me the areas where I'm supposed to
Okay.
improve.
Okay.
Yeah, so what I'm supposed to do.
Great. Okay. So I will work on that now and then I'll send you feedback. Your letter to yourself, I told you, was very powerful. I really enjoyed reading it. It was, yeah, when I read it, I was like almost emotional, but it was a very, very good, very well written letter. Yeah.
Thank
So,
you. Thank you.
yeah, you're doing a great job with all the assignments. I want to thank you for that as well. And for investing in your
Thanks to you.
growth and your professionalism. Yeah. Yeah.
Thank you.
Okay, ma'am. So you have a good rest of whatever's left of your day as I get my day started.
Okay. Enjoy the rest of
Okay.
the day.
Okay, you
Yeah.
as well. Okay.
Okay.
Bye
Bye.
bye.